Welcome back to another episode of the Lehigh Valley Prospects Field Hockey Podcast presented by Smith Sports Media. I'm your host, LJ Smith, and on this Coach's Corner episode, I have the pleasure of being joined by Marci Scheuing, the head coach at Kutztown University. Marci, thank you for inviting me to campus today and taking time out of your day to do a podcast.
Thank you so much for doing this and for representing the sport of field hockey. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pleasure to be here and get to learn about your playing experience, your college days, and also going throughout your coaching tenure, leading you to be the 2023 National Champions of Field Hockey and the runner-up last season as well. Just an amazing past couple of seasons for you.
Yes. Yeah, it really has been. It's all the credit to my coaching staff, my assistant coaches, and also obviously the players. Without them and their buy-in and belief of what we're trying to do here, we wouldn't be where we are.
Reflecting back with this past season, the large class of grad students and seniors you had, what did they mean to this program? They brought a national championship, back-to-back appearances.
Absolutely.
What did they mean to this program?
I can't put it into words, and I told them it's so different without them. After the spring, it was just so different without them. We had leaders, we had amazing athletes, we had kids that would do anything for this program, and it showed. They led by example, and I feel like I almost grew up with them. Like I changed, my coaching style and just watching them when they first got here till now. And I thank them because they bought in and they bought into the process. And when they first came, we weren't national champions. They came at a time where we were still working towards that goal, but they believed that we could do it. And so they trusted us. They came here, they stuck it out. It's not easy. Now, Sarah Gatehouse and Mia Kepler lasted 5 years here. Yeah. It's not easy to play 4 years in our program. It's tough. It's stringent. There is a lot that we ask of them. We don't shy away from that. So to make it through 4 years, and then Gatehouse and Kepler made it through 5, it's incredible. And so I give such credit to those kids. There were some tough times. There were some amazing times winning a national championship. There was hard times losing one, but those athletes that were in this past class are going to do amazing things in the real world because they have that, never give up attitude and just like the will to be good people and to win.
And reflecting on them, you have the upperclassmen rising up into new roles, but you also are bringing in a new group of student athletes. So what does that look like coming into this 2025 season?
Yeah, we are so excited about this season. It's funny because a lot of people are like, you lost so much, and we did. Are you worried about next season? We get that question a lot. And the answer is no, we don't. I read this once, but I loved it. We're not rebuilding, we're reloading. And so a lot of the kids that are already in our program, they're ready. They're ready to jump right into those roles. They've been working for it. They have been watching those kids and seeing what works, what doesn't work, what they want to aspire to, and kind of making it their own. We had an awesome spring. We got several transfers in, one from Liberty, one from Albany, and one from the University of Delaware for this next season that are going to help us right away. We have a freshman class coming in that arguably, the class that's leaving right now is amazing. We have had some really good classes, really great players come through. This class coming in is probably the best one overall we've ever had. And that's because they all committed as soon as we won the national championship. We had a lot of kids that committed very quickly after that are definitely Division I level recruits that want to win a national championship, want to be able to still have, the balance of athletics, academics, and social. So they chose to come here. And we're very excited about this upcoming season because we return several starters. We return a lot of talent. And then we added these 3 transfers, and the 11 freshmen that we have coming in are just going to give us such good depth.
Yeah, supplement what's already here.
Exactly.
Sure. Under 60 days away from your first game of the season.
Yes.
How excited are you to step back on the sideline after the result of last season, just to get back on the field and try again one more?
We have a lot to prove. And I think that's the neat part of, if there is any silver lining to losing a national championship, it gives us a ton of fire going into this year. One of my players said to me this spring, I never want to feel like that again. It was a terrible feeling when we lost. It was helpless, and it was really hard. But I think it gives us a lot of fuel going into this next season. And so I think the kids are very excited. We're very excited. We open up with Southern New Hampshire, who we beat in the NCAA tournament last year to go to the NCAA Final Four. So we're not starting off easy.
No.
But I like that. And I'd rather play all the best teams out there and see what we really are. So to start off with Southern New Hampshire should be a great test for us to see where we're at.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the addition to your coaching staff as well. You
Yes.
have Amber and now bringing on Caitlin Dahlmeyer. So what does that do to your program?
So Caitlin, I still am like, Amber, pinch me. Is this really happening? She is an incredible person, an incredible coach, played at Duke, was the head coach at Lehigh, was the head coach at Dickinson, has an unbelievable pedigree, and she's just the most amazing person. Our goalkeepers cannot wait to have it. We have had a lot of coaches that have come through and work with our keepers, which has been incredible and very helpful. But Caitlin was an actual amazing goalie at Duke. So her being able to work with them, we have 2 returning goalkeepers and then a freshman coming in. She'll have three athletes to work with. And I know she's excited to kind of jump right in. And I'm like, you can do whatever you want to do. I know you know what you're talking about. You just take them and run with it. It's just going to put us at a whole new level that our goalkeeping has never seen. I feel terrible that Mia, is leaving and didn't get to have that, because Mia was an awesome goalkeeper, and it was just really, I wish I could have given her more. So the fact that we can get this for these kids coming in and for the kids that are returning, I think it'll just take us to a whole new level on the defensive side of the ball.
Now, transitioning into recruiting for the following season, your incoming classes for the next couple of seasons, what type of athletes are you looking to bring in? What are some academic and athletic expectations?
Yeah, that's a great question. I go back to the saying, how you do anything is how you do everything. And I think a good student translates to a good athlete, to a good person. We really look first at, are they the right fit for our culture? And sometimes kids aren't. They could be the most amazing field hockey player in the world, but they're not really a team player, or they don't put the team first, or it's all about them. And that just is not something moving forward that we want to have on our team. I really think with a team full of female athletes, it really makes it difficult when someone thinks about themselves first. So we really want the team player. We really want the people that are there for the good of the whole and not just for themselves. So, moving forward, I really believe that winning the national championship brought eyes on us that weren't necessarily looking here years ago. And so we can be a lot pickier now. So we very much hold ourselves to a high standard with field hockey, obviously, but it can't just be good at field hockey. They have to have some of the other things as well because of the level and type of athlete that's looking at us now.
That's excellent. I can imagine that. I don't want to say it makes your job easier, because I don't think it does.
It almost makes it harder. Yeah, I know where you're going with that. Yes. It's interesting. You would think, oh, you have the pick of the litter. Well, I have to tell kids now that they can't play here that I would have killed for 5 years ago. I would have killed for some of these kids. And now I'm like, I'm so sorry. We just don't have the space. And so that is surreal to me, coming from Cedar Crest and Bryn Mawr, where, I would have loved to have had a full roster and some of these athletes. Now having to tell some of them no is heartbreaking, because I know they want to be here, want to come here. We just don't have the space. And it has made it a lot harder, but also we have had to figure out exactly what we want. So it is helpful to kind of weed out, what might not work here and what might, based off of that.
Now, obviously, eyes on your program since back-to-back appearances in the national championship games. Where can potential student athletes find you at recruiting events?
Yeah.
Is it you and your staff? Is it just you? What does that look like?
We all, and now I have a very large coaching staff. Brianne Craley played for me for 5 years as well, because she tore her ACL, and she's on my staff now as well. And Greenlee McGeehee, who is a local kid from Northwestern Lehigh, she played for me. She actually scored the game-winning goal in the national championship game, and she's going to stay on this fall as one of our volunteers. So we have this full coaching staff of kids that know what we expect and know, Amber knows what we need. Bree and Greenlee know what we need. And then Caitlin is just going to be such an asset to recruit amazing goalkeepers as well, because they're going to want to come here and learn from her. But the main areas we recruit and do things, I always tell kids, come to our clinics, come on campus, because you're not only judging you against kids, we're also looking at, you're on our surface, you're playing, where you would play. So it really is the best possible thing you could do is get on that college's campus and go to their clinics and be face to face with the coaches, because the whole coaching staff will be there, and it's a great place to show yourself. We host a camp, we have 365 kids coming next week. Great place to be. But also we go to, Amber and I both coach indoor field hockey. We're always out at pretty much all the tournaments. We go to the NITs. We go over Thanksgiving down to Richmond. And so we are out and about at a lot of field hockey events. But I would say the main area, now we see kids initially there and then invite them to our clinics maybe. The best place to be seen by us at Kutztown is here for sure.
and kind of eliminating other variables. You're seeing them play on your playing
Yeah.
surface. You're seeing how they interact with other players. You're
Exactly.
also looking to bring in. So,
And we know they're actually interested in us because they made the effort to come here and be here. Where sometimes when you're out at an event, a kid may look great, may say that they like you, but if they're not going to put in that extra effort to come here and me see them at our school, then I know they're not really that interested, or somewhere is maybe a little more appealing to them.
are there position groups you're looking to bring in over the next couple of recruiting classes that you can see and kind of entice other prospective student athletes to come to
Yeah,
Kutztown?
that's a great question. I actually, a lot of times, might not be on the same page with a high school coach of where a kid's playing on the field. So we don't necessarily recruit by position, but we recruit by skill set and what we need at that time. That high school coach may be forced to play the kid that could score a ton of goals in the center midfield because that's where they need them. So sometimes it's not the coach's fault, but I always tell kids, don't anticipate just because you played X in high school that you're going to play that here, because you might have been the fastest kid on your team or the most fit kid on your team, but everyone's like that here. So you might have to transition into a different position. Goalie is the only one that's where they're staying. That's what they're going to be. But we move kids around a lot and we see their skill set and try. And once again, in our formation and the way that we play, we need specifics. Like our forwards are so fast. We put a ton of high pressure on the ball, make you make mistakes, make you make decisions. So we have a ton of speed on our forward line. So there's just different things that we look for that really help the way that we play.
So more looking for a skill set that you can kind of mold and
Correct.
fit into
Exactly.
your program.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Excellent. What are some of the values that you look to instill into your student athletes when they become a Golden Bear?
Yeah. I think one of the biggest things is team first mentality. And unfortunately, there are some kids that don't have that. It really is about them. Trying to implement you really have to understand decisions I make or Amber makes or things that we do is always for the best of the whole team. It might not be the best for you. But also this program is much bigger than just one person. And and that includes myself, the coaching staff. It's so much bigger than that. So when you are representing this program, whether it be on social media or in town or on campus, you need to hold yourself to a high standard or you're not going to make it in this program, because I always give, chances to freshmen or to, you kind of get one or two strikes with me to make a maybe not a great decision, but they'll be held accountable, they'll be held responsible, and then we'll move on from it. But if you continue to make the same mistakes or aren't learning from them, this isn't going to be the right place for you. Because like I said, we have so many kids that we say no to. It's a privilege to be in this program and to be on this team. You have to hold that responsibility high on your shoulders.
And if that isn't that mentality, like they're kind of taking that for granted,
Yes.
you kind of have to bring them back
Exactly.
down and
Exactly.
reinforce what the reason you're here. You're part of this program and you're hand select
Yes, exactly.
to be here. So being
Exactly.
able to benefit the program, carry that with honor.
Yes, that's exactly right. And it's about the alums of Kutztown University field hockey. It's about the people that came before you, the people that put all the time in to get the program to where it's at. We are not going to let one kid, take that away. So, but I do think a lot of times the kids, they maybe make their mistake or something happens, they learn from it. So it's not a lot that we have to be really tough. And I find too, the other thing with the female athletes that we coach, they are so hard on themselves. I really don't have to be that mean. I really don't, because they're already like negative self-talk and telling them they're not good enough, when in essence they are. And so I really try to hound on how the kids are speaking to themselves and making themselves feel, because that's such a big part of the mental aspect of the game, is knowing you're supposed to be there, knowing you're good enough, and telling yourself that. Where female athletes struggle with that a lot.
Yeah, the positive self-talk.
Oh, it's huge. It's huge for specifically in my experience, the athletes that we've had, they're just so hard on themselves.
What separates Kutztown field hockey from other programs that student athletes could be looking at?
Yeah, I think it's the whole culture, and that includes everything. I think it's the people, the culture. I think it's the way we handle stuff day to day. We try to do things the right way. We try to be above board. We don't try to cut corners. And I think just being a part of this, the upperclassmen now, we're really self-run in the sense of a lot doesn't hit my desk anymore, because the team culture has allowed itself to kind of handle whatever's going on within the team and stuff. They self-police, I guess, if you will. And I think that really helps hold each other to a certain standard. And we have the same standard on the field as off. And so, if something happens, and I need to step in, I will. But a lot of times I don't even need to, because the way that the team runs, they hold each other accountable. So I think that has led to a lot of our success.
And as we get ready to wrap up the episode, is there something that you would like to say to prospective student athletes? Share what kind of important to you, what's important to this program if they want to become a Golden Bear?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things is don't feel the pressure to make it all happen now. Your timeline is yours. You don't necessarily need to be on the same timeline as one of your teammates or one of your club teammates. They just have a different process than you. We've taken kids right away. Once we're allowed to contact them, we maybe get commitments, but then maybe we pick a kid up super late, or maybe it's a transfer, or maybe it's someone that went somewhere else first and they weren't necessarily happy, or something happened. So I do think each process is your own, and don't stress yourself out by, they didn't contact me by this date, I'm never going to be able to play there. That's not necessarily true. Things happen, rosters change all the time. So take a deep breath, continue to reach out to the coaches, continue to go to the prospect clinics and camps and stuff like that. And I just think, there is a school out there for everybody. So if maybe this isn't the right school for you, there may be another school out there that is the perfect fit for you. So I just don't put so much pressure on yourselves. Take a deep breath. But, to be a Golden Bear, it is quite an honor. And I'm very proud of where the program's at and what we've done. And the best part for us, we talk about this a lot, we think we're set up for success over the next several years, not just 1 year. We're not just looking to be good this next year. We're looking to be good in longevity. And I think we have built that, and it's taken a good 10 years to get there. But I do think we're at the point now where we are going to sustain at a high level for a long time. But in the PSAC, that's hard, and everybody else is gunning for you, and it's exhausting to be in the conference, because it's just everyone's good. Everyone brings it. Even the team that might finish last in the PSAC, they're very good. And so you have to constantly be on your game to be able to kind of keep up with that. So it's very, very tough.
The foundation is built here.
It is. Yes.
Continuing to, as you reload each
Yes.
season and put yourself in a position to succeed
Yes.
each and every season.
Yes.
Marci, thank you so much for inviting me to campus, being willing to record an episode and share your insight, share your story. It's been a pleasure to get to learn more about you and sit here and chat with you.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate the light you're bringing to the sport of field hockey.
Absolutely. Marci Scheuing, Kutztown University head coach. Thank you for your time and best of luck this upcoming season.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for tuning in to the Lehigh Valley Prospects podcast presented by Smith Sports Media. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel searching Lehigh Valley Prospects Podcast. You can stream the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts searching Lehigh Valley Prospects Podcast. Follow us on social media on Instagram at LV Prospects Podcast, on X at LV Prospects, and on Facebook at Lehigh Valley Prospects Podcast. Until next time, I'm your host, LJ Smith, signing off.